Hello. Today we are going to discuss Module 5, which is nothing but RTOS and IDE for Embedded System Design. So RTOS stands for Real-Time Operating System and IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment for Embedded System Design. So these are the contents of Module 5. It deals with RTOS and IDE for Embedded System Design. Okay, so here we have to cover the operating system basics. Then we should know the types of operating systems, task, process and threads. Okay, then we should know the thread preemption, multiprocessing and multitasking, task communication. Then we are supposed to discuss about task synchronization issues, then how to choose an RTOS, then embedded system design development, embedded system development environment. Then we should concentrate on deassembler or decompiler, then simulator, emulator, debugging techniques. Then at the last we have to concentrate on target hardware debugging and boundary scan. So these are the contents of Module 5. So before starting with, we should know what is operating systems. So operating systems, here I have put up two definitions. The first one is operating system, in short OS, is a system software that manages computer hardware, software resources and provides common services for computer programs. A program, it is also defined as a program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and the computer hardware. That's what is nothing but operating systems. Then where exactly the operating system resides in a computer system, right? It is shown in the figure. The first layer will be the hardware layer, the second layer will be the operating system, then the application layer and then the user, right? The user actually writes a program, okay, so which is nothing but an application program. So that application program communicates with operating system, okay. So now the operating system decides how much hardware has to be assigned for a particular application, right? So this is where the operating system resides into the computer program. By chance, if this operating system gets removed, then this application and hardware, the link between the application and the hardware will be lost. So operating system is the main which can establish the link between an application and a hardware resources. So that's why we need operating system for the computer systems. Then here we should know what is RTOS and integrated development environment. Okay, the RTOS differs with respect to an general purpose OS. Okay, with respect to general purpose OS, RTOS differs in that it typically provides a hard real-time response, providing a fast, highly deterministic reaction to external events. Okay, so this is the difference where an operating system and an embedded system will be there, right? In operating system, deterministic reaction to external events is not required. Okay, there is some delay is expected in general purpose operating system, but the same delay is not expected in embedded systems. Okay, so in embedded system we expect that as soon as the input comes there should be an output, okay, which is nothing but in real time. So that's why we have to use an RTOS for embedded system, which is in real time. Then the integrated development environment, okay, is a software application that provides comprehensive facilities to a computer programs for software development. For example, we are having Keel Microvision, okay, to program the ARM boards, right? So these Keel Microvision is nothing but an integrated development environment which allows the programmer to program on a platform. When everything is correct, then the same program can be built on an ARM board or any microcontroller that is in use, okay, so that the particular application can be made autonomous, right? So that's why we should use an integrated development environment. Then computer system can be divided into four main components, namely first one is hardware, then second one is operating system, then application programs and then users, right? So hardware provides basic computing resources, for example CPU, memory and IO devices. Anyway, operating system controls and coordinates the use of hardware among various applications and users. Application programs, they define the ways in which the system resources are used to solve the computing problems of the users. They can be word processors, they can be compilers, web browsers, database systems and even can be video games. Then users. The users can be people or can be machine or can be other computers. Right? So these are the users, okay, who can write an application program to access the hardware. Then OS is also a resource allocator. Okay, it means what? It manages all the resources. Okay, given a particular computer system. It decides between the conflicting requests for efficient and fair resource use. Okay, so there might be many requests will be coming to use the particular resource. So operating system will enter into the particular conflict and resolves it, making sure that there is an efficient usage of the resources. OS is a control program. OS can also be a control program. Why? It is just because it controls the execution of programs to prevent errors and improper use of the computer. Okay, so that's why it is also called as a control program. Then we should know the storage structure in a computer system. So it is in main memory and then secondary memory, right? So main memory, only the large storage media that the CPU can access directly is called as main memory. Okay, so it is called as normally random access memory and it is typically volatile in nature. What do you mean by volatility? Volatility means the data stored into the memory will be lost as soon as the power goes off. Then we are having secondary storage. Okay, it's an extension of main memory that provides large non-volatile storage capacity. Okay, it's an extension of a main memory, but the difference is the data gets stored onto this memory even if the power goes off. That means the data will be stored. The examples of secondary storage are hard disks, CDs, DVDs, and even some flash drives. Then we are having solid state disks which are faster than the hard disks and non-volatile in nature. So this is the storage structure of a computer system. Then we should know the basic functions of an operating system. So the basic functions are process management, file management, main memory management, IO system management, and secondary storage management. The detailed explanation of these 5 functions we will see it in next video. Thank you.